At this time of year, we're remembering that this season of harvest is a time of plenty, when we celebrate and give thanks for the crops that are gathered in to give us food all year round. Meet my friend here, the scarecrow. He's made from lots of the things that can be gathered in at this time of year. The job of a scarecrow is to scare away the birds so that seeds and shoots can grow into healthy plants ready for the harvest. And talking of scarecrows, there are times when we can all feel scared and worried too. Farmers must be worried when their crops don't grow, and we can all feel worried if things don't go to plan. This year, with everyone talking about coronavirus, it can feel like we've had more than our fair share of worry. But God teaches us that He's there with our worries and fears, and that He holds us all safely in His hands. In the book of Isaiah in the Bible, God says, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" And in the Gospel of Luke, we're reminded, "Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life?" We're going to hear a story now all about a scarecrow. It's called A Very Worried Scarecrow. Once there was a scarecrow. He was a very careful scarecrow. He made sure that he scared all the crows away and always looked after his field. There was just one thing. He was a worrier. If you listened really carefully, you could hear him worrying. "What if the crows bring all their friends? That would be terrible. What if they stop finding me scary and tease me? That would be awful. What if it doesn't rain and the wheat doesn't grow? That would be disastrous. What if? Day after day, the scarecrow worried that something was going to go wrong, and day after day, nothing did go wrong. At least until the night when something did. A big storm came blowing in from the west. The rain came down and the wind came up, and Scarecrow was blown from the stake that kept him upright. He looked up at the night sky and worried. "What will happen now? The wheat will be blown as flat as a pancake." But in the morning, the wheat had not been blown as flat as a pancake. "The birds will eat the wheat all up," worried the Scarecrow. But the wheat had grown too big and strong for the birds to be interested. "What will become of me? Who will look after the wheat now?" he lamented. Before he could consider this, the noisiest noise he had ever heard was all around him. The ground began to shake, and the wheat started to disappear as if being eaten by a very hungry monster. "Oh my!" squealed the Scarecrow, who was now a very worried Scarecrow. "What's going on?" Just as suddenly as it had begun, the noise stopped, and the Scarecrow saw the friendly face of the farmer, who picked him up and dusted him down. "Well, well," he said, "what a good job you've done. Time to get you back to the yard with the harvest." As Scarecrow looked at the harvest being gathered in the farmyard, he could see how happy everyone was. He saw how much wheat had been grown, and that there hadn't been any need to worry. He looked at the field mice who were dashing around, gathering up the dropped grains and making their new home in the cosy barns, and at the laughing faces of the children who were playing on the bales of straw, and at the celebrations that were going on. His friend the owl came down and landed on his outstretched arm. "So, it turned out fine after all?" asked the owl. "Perhaps you need to trust a little more and worry a little less." And the now not so worried Scarecrow nodded in agreement. The end.